Our next speaker, as you already can see, is Alberto Rama. He's a co-founder and CEO of Investment Navigator. I'm sure you all know him already, and I think it's a good example to show how two fintechs here in Switzerland can work very successfully together.
Good morning. Thanks a lot to have the possibility to talk to you and to share some insights where we see next future trends and challenges. First question. Do someone of you not use a smartphone? So everyone has a smartphone here in his pocket. Now, have you ever thought about how much calculation power this smartphone already provides today? And to give you, some insights, to make it, for you comparable, you probably know this machine. It's the Apollo 11. 50 years ago, roughly, he went, he flew to the moon, brought 3 people to the moon and back. How much calculation power do you think this machine had, or this rocket? And what I did is actually I Googled and I had a look, to compare it to the iPhone 5S. It's an iPhone probably published 4 or 5 years ago. Now, the computer, which is actually, steering and helping, the astronauts to get to the moon and back, the weight, just to give you a feeling for that, was 32 kilos. The iPhone itself is 140 grams. The read-only memory, so whether you can store 32 kilobytes, probably you don't even know how much of this is just a few letters at the end of the day. An iPhone 5S is 64 kilobytes. Probably you can store millions of pictures, etc. The RAM, 4 kilobytes and 1 giga. It's amazing how in 50 years the technology that you have in your pocket actually decreased, making such technology really easy to and accessible. The processor, 1 megahertz, 1 gigahertz. That's it's really powerful. Now, how does it look like? It already had kind of an interface, so you could actually press buttons and do something. And the iPhone, I think every one of you knows it already. Now, the main purpose is actually to fly to the moon. It had actually 2 on board, one also to drive a car on the moon itself, to navigate and get back. And theoretically, with the calculation power of an iPhone 5S, you could guide 120 million Apollo rockets at the same time. And it's mainly used at the moment to play Angry Birds and upload pictures of cats. So ask yourself, what are you doing every day with this computer that you have in your pocket? And that brings actually to a challenge that we have. It's actually, we have a lot of technology and still we're working with paper. So if you look to your cross-border manuals, probably you still print them out and have them somewhere actually stored on your desk. Now, looking short term, the first thing that we are thinking about to use this technology, on one side, the hardware, but also the possibilities that you can do on algorithms and programming on it, is actually to digitalize all these regulatory standards and to make it so simple as possible to accessible to you. So, for example, through the collaboration with WealthArc, all the regulatory checks, cross-border suitability checks for funds are easily accessible to you. Now, in the midterm, what we see and what we are working on it is actually an artificial intelligence. There's a lot of creative technology where you just can upload a document and the system will tell you back what's actually written in it and already assessing that for you. And in the long term, probably some of you already are using it, all the digital advisors which are now up and running already on the iPhones, for example, Siri, you have Alexa, you have OK Google. Now, if you look to these assistants, already a few years ago, for example, IBM started to develop solutions on that side. And just to give you a feeling how complex that in the background, because you not only have English, you may also have dialects. You also have other languages, and again, local dialects. And this is the big challenge, how to program that. But if you look already in 2011, If you program such a solution dedicated to one specific task, it already can actually provide much better results than a human person. And maybe you remember that in 2011, in Jeopardy, Watson won against human people. Now, probably you already have Siri at home, Google, Amazon, etc. They're really good at the moment to recognize you. They're not really good in executing. So if you ask them, play me music, yes, something will happen. If you ask more complex, when is the next train going to Zurich, it may be already struggling. But this is something which is going to be resolved over the next few months and weeks and years, actually. Now, at the end of the day, what's going to happen? What is heavily going to change in our daily world? We're going to have in our pockets supercomputers, which are also smart and will give you complete new interfaces like Siri. Now, for you as an independent asset manager, it's nothing that you have to be scared of. It's just something which is coming. It may give you new opportunities to be used in a daily interaction with your clients. And it's up to us, companies like Investment Navigator and WealthArc, to take this technology and make it available to you through our platforms and to your workflows and value chain much more easier, so that you can better interact with your clients. And this is actually something we are focusing at the moment on Investment Navigator, and hopefully soon we can show our first results on that side. Thanks a lot.